Welcome to the Wake and Bake podcast. It's your two favorite hosts in the entire world, Quentin, Pete. I'm a Chargers fan. He's a Patriots fan. If you like what you hear today, please like and subscribe. It really helps. Me and him talk about football while we bake and cook eggs in our bakery in the morning. Top of the order here, Pete. We got... So, I was trying, we tabled the discussion because I didn't want to get too far into it, but because this is great content. I mean, me and you have been talking about I still think it's way too quiet on the Patriots moving back. I mean, really, I don't hear anybody talk about, it's not that nobody's mentioned it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the Patriots would love to. Nobody thinks they'll find a suitor.
Yeah, nobody believes anybody's
end of story at that. They're just
nobody believes that anybody's going to want to move up. Yeah. I suppose.
But now that we're 36 hours away from round one,
we're less. It's tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, so
tomorrow evening,
half a day, about a day and a half. Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of when some real propositions with credence come around.
Right? Teams that actually want to.
Where now it's official. Cam Ward's going number one.
If you're trying to move into the 4 spot, you probably are making phone calls to set that up.
Yeah.
You're not going to wait till draft night when you're on the clock. Because, it's the first 4 picks.
Well, because then you have 2 minutes or whatever.
You've got 2 minutes. So I would agree, today is when those calls are taking place.
Right.
Today is when those calls are taking place.
Again, this is the first round in a long time, maybe ever, that no first round trades have happened before the draft. That everyone just has their original pick.
I think the premise is that nobody wants to move up because this draft QB class is not good enough for that.
It's weak sauce.
But my pushback, what were we talking about this on Monday or just yesterday? Just me and you.
Maybe both.
It's every year there's the Mahomes. There's a Lamar Jackson. When was Josh Allen taken? Justin Herbert.
He wasn't number one, but he was.
Justin Herbert wasn't the number one. He was the 3rd QB taken, right? Or maybe the 4th.
Right? I think Allen was the first QB taken. He just wasn't.
Was Allen a first?
He just wasn't the number 1 pick.
Yeah, he was the first taken, but you're probably right with that.
I think I could be wrong on that, but
let's look it up, just for, because that's what we do here. We'll look it up. When When was Josh Allen drafted?
But I mean, yeah, Cam Ward being the consensus number 1 QB, like by a good amount.
So Josh Allen was drafted by the Bills as the 7th overall pick. Seventh overall pick.
Yeah. So
I wonder if quarterbacks were taken in front of him.
do you have the? I was gonna say, do you have the whole list, or do you just look up what the pick he was?
The year Josh Allen was drafted, were any quarterbacks drafted in front of him? Okay, other quarterbacks were drafted in front of him. Specifically, Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall, and Sam Darnold, number 3 overall.
That's right.
Wow.
The good old Jets.
So, I'm going to lump Josh Allen in there too, man. Like, the first QB taken, which cultural... Here's the statement I want to connect with that. The first taken QB is the consensus lowest risk, highest ceiling QB. That's what everybody thinks is the surest bet.
Right.
Always. Okay? You're going to love where I'm going with this. The first taken QB is the consensus best bet, strongest bet.
Most pro-ready. Doesn't need to
The best bet.
Yeah.
Best QB. That's what And I would say this. Take this a step further. In my opinion, the first QB taken is really not, it's really not up to that much debate usually. Like there seems to be a very strong NFL consensus, public and NFL wise, like this is the number 1. People love to debate number 2 and 3, maybe 4, but the number 1 usually, like that gets arrived at pretty quickly and very strongly, right?
And I would say it's one of the few times that
that the NFL agrees
that the media agrees with the NFL.
Yeah.
And the
The media the media seems to agree with the NFL and vice versa. Like it's not under contention, you know?
Yeah.
So but I mean, name to me the top 3 quarterback in the last 20 years that was like the first one taken. Oh,
you mean like the first QB taken who ended up
maybe Peyton Manning was the last one?
Being a number 2 quarterback in the league.
Yeah. It wasn't the number 3 or 4 or whatever, 2 through 5 QB that rose to the top. Okay? It was like, give me the number 1. When did the number 1 actually become the number 1?
Workout.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that like I said, maybe Peyton Manning lived up to his, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning was taken like number 1 overall kind of thing, right?
He was. And he worked out, obviously.
But outside of him, who? Is there anyone? We would know him because he would have to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in the last 20 years.
I mean, who was the number 1 in Herbert's draft?
Burrow.
So
Burrow's lived up to it.
Worked out.
Burrow's lived up to it. I believe in Burrow.
And so then the other recent number ones are Trevor Lawrence,
for the record, I'm taking Herbert over Burrow every day. Okay? For the world to know. But Burrow's a very good quarterback, okay? If there's anybody you could in that draft, it's Burrow or Herbert for me. And you didn't lose out on either one of them. And I give Herbert the edge, not necessarily because he's a Charger, but because I like who he is. I actually think he's the more talented quarterback, actually.
You're not a fur coat kind of guy?
No.
So in that case, like, they're both awesome. Like, you know, like they're both elite quarterbacks. Neither one is like, the Bengals really screwed the pooch on that. They should have taken Herbert.
Yeah, no, nobody's saying that. I just like Herb on a work ethic level and humbleness.
Yeah.
Like he's quiet. And I think he's smarter. I think he's a brilliant football. I just like his competitiveness. Like he's quiet. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get better and better and better and better. And I mean, you know what? If that kid hoists a Lombardi one day, and I think he has that capability, like there's justice in the universe. There is justice in this universe. But getting back to the argument I'm making here is more off, statistically speaking, and not close. It's a QB that's not selected first. It's one of those other QBs that's selected in the top 5. It's one of those other guys, 2 through 5, that winds up being the guy.
Yeah.
In every year. Right? Granted, there's more of them than just the number 1, but they outnumber them.
I feel like also in the last like 10 years, there's been a lot more drafts where multiple QBs, more than 1 or 2, are going in the first round. In that 3 to 5 range, where I don't think that used to happen.
Well, no, I mean, I looked. Oh, I didn't go too far back. I actually generated. I kind of dug into that the other day.
Just because you have to have a quarterback.
I was looking at how many quarterbacks have been drafted in the first round, and I did that for like the last 10 years. I didn't make an Excel spreadsheet of it. Okay, this is just. I was just looking it up. And I want to say 6 or 7 of the 10 years, 4 plus QBs are taken.
So that's more than half of those years you have.
Yes.
Not just multiple, many QBs in the first round. And that's because
4 to 5 QBs were taken. Yes.
That's what I'm saying is I don't think that was the case 20 years ago. You would, you know?
I mean, look at what the quarterbacks make. It's reflected in their pay. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, quarterback pay has exploded. And that's because...
And the rookie pay has not.
The QB... It has been historically the most important position
in sports
on a football team, but even now with the passing league that it is now and the protections in place and how much more pass oriented it's become,
right?
You got to have that QB.
We're never gonna see what year was that? 2002 Super Bowl of the Ravens
when the Ravens won their first Super Bowl?
Yeah, with
mediocre QB.
With no QB.
Dilfer.
No QB on the field.
Yeah, wasn't it old Dilfer?
Yeah.
Hey, the Bucks did it too with Gruden.
Right, and I don't think that'll ever happen again.
It happened with Eli Manning.
No, but there was a bona fide QB on the field. I'm saying no QB on the field on either team.
There was a bona fide QB on the field. It just wasn't the one that won.
He just lost.
So, where I'm going with this is it's not the number one overall. With that assumption, Cam Ward, he's the consensus number one.
But if he was drafted, if he was in last year's class, he would probably be 6,
Sure.
5.
Well, but I think the desperation level too is a thing of teams.
Absolutely.
How desperate are the guys that don't have QBs right now? Well, the answer is I think they're really, really, really desperate, okay? Like the Steelers, they are desperate.
I mean, they're desperate because they're in win now mode. The rest of that team is good. But the team like the Titans, the team that ends up with the number 1 pick is usually a really bad team. Is more than just a quarterback away.
I mean, it makes it even more important when everybody in the league feels, like for the Steelers in their case, they've been knocking on the door for so many years.
Right.
And they're like, dude, you're just a quarterback away.
Ever since they had Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you're a quarterback away.
Ever since they had their last
when Tomlin
quarterback.
When Tomlin had a quarterback, they were strong Super Bowl contenders every year.
Absolutely.
I mean, they won one. They won one. So, Roethlisberger, another case of a guy that was not taken. He was in the top 5. He was not the top 1 or 2.
I mean, that was one of those stacked QB classes, though.
You got to. I'm just saying it strengthens my case that these teams are desperate and they should be trying to move up if they've got a good grade on a guy, one of these other guys outside the top 1, which they're not going to get their hands on. Like, you have to move up and just get that guy.
Oh, to get Shador or
Dart, doesn't matter.
Milrow or one of them.
I mean, I don't think it's a stupid move. Because here, I really do. Nobody's talking about the Raiders smoke the way they should. They're really not.
No.
The Raiders smoke is real. That is, the Raiders are, I'm not going to say absolutely going to take a QB, but I was talking about with a Raiders fan yesterday.
You were like, how happy are you with the Raiders' current quarterback situation?
Well, I mean, I was like, the draft is coming up, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not buying this Genty smoke.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, we're taking a QB. And I was like, I mean, he was like, we should take a QB. The Raiders fans are clamoring for a QB, not a running back, okay?
Right.
They're not buying the smoke either. They're like, guys, we need a QB. Like Geno's a Band-Aid.
Right.
He ain't the future, okay? So the GM talking about, ooh, Genty, my kid will disown me. That's all smoke, dude. That is smoke. And I don't think the rest of the teams, if I'm not buying it, the rest of the teams ain't buying it either, okay? They're not. The Steelers ain't buying it.
I mean, it also doesn't, it never made sense to me that people just assumed Vegas would take Genty when Genty is the third best player, like, according to everybody, you know? And he's gonna fall to 6 just because? Like, that never really sat well with me.
Well,
And I'm not saying that I want the Patriots to take
I mean,
because I don't think that's the case. But
here's the sad truth. It's the same thing the tight ends suffer from, right?
yeah, the running back, the position.
You've got a position that you don't have to pay a lot of money for it.
Right.
So why am I taking this guy 3 overall so I can pay him top of the position money? You know?
Right.
It's not going to do it.
And I get the drop off between him and the number 2 and 3 running backs in the class are not.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big.
Maybe it's not as big as going from the best left tackle to the next best left tackle, or what, you know, from one QB to the next.
It's kind of crazy, like.
But still,
I think the Genty hype is like stronger than Bijan's, huh?
it's way more than Bijan.
Bijan had a lot of hype,
Bijan had a lot of hype.
but Genty,
He
yeah.
was the first. I can't say the first because there was Saquon.
Boy, that would be a good betting line. When is Genty going to get drafted? How low will Genty fall?
I mean, do you think he's going to be the one who's sitting in the green room for 15 picks? Like, you know, everyone thought he was going to be top 5.
I don't think Genty makes it out of the top 15. No, I would bet a lot of money on that.
But how far? Like, maybe not 15, but 12, even 11 would be shocking after all the talk, you know?
He's going to go between picks 5 and 5 and 15.
Well, that's a massive range, though.
That's 10.
I would say falling past 7 after all of the talk would be crazy.
A bold prediction would be he goes between picks 10 and 15.
Yeah, that would be a massive, super massive drop.
Which is a substantial fall for someone that's that good a football player.
Right.
But getting back to the quarterback equation, Jets are still not being talked about. This QB is a QB team. I don't hear much about that at all.
No. It's all been taking a tackle for
But
them.
you think they've got Fields and they're like standing pat?
I mean,
Who are dark horses after a QB? Raiders are kind of a dark horse. Nobody's talking about the Raiders at 6 taking a QB, really.
I mean, I don't like Fields. I mean, put it that way, but I like Fields more for the next 4 or 5 years than I like Geno for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, if you're playing the long game.
Well, we know Geno. Like, Geno's known. He is a known commodity. Fields, I feel, for some reason, is still somewhat unknown. Like, maybe he can pull a Baker Mayfield, right?
Yeah. If he was on any team other than the Jets, I would give him a better shot at that.
I mean, Fields really is the new Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, high draft pick.
Yeah. High draft pick. Nobody wants to make him their starter, though, for
Lots
some damn
of hype,
reason.
but then, got run out of town on his first team.
Won a bunch of games for the for the Steelers. Lost his starting job.
Yeah.
Rich Eisen was questioning the Steelers' ability to evaluate quarterbacks. Like, he was just...
Like saying they're subpar?
I mean, well, it's just...
Because they're amazing at evaluating wide receivers.
I mean, they've been trying to settle this QB ever since Big Ben.
Right.
And they've done really bad at it. I mean, they've spent some draft capital going after guys. You know, it's not for lack of trying.
They have. Granted, with the caveat that they've still always been a competitive team, so they rarely never have like a top 10 pick to be like, we're taking the best QB or the second best QB in the class.
I mean, it's either their evaluation process or their development process just sucks.
Right.
Because they're not...
The in-house development.
You know, because they point back to, like, Pickett. Pickett was like a Pittsburgh kid. Like, had been in the building.
Right.
Like, they knew him. I think he was like a ball boy or something. I mean... And then they get him in there, and it's like, no, like he's cut, you know, within 1 year, right? Like, it was just like, I feel like they haven't given any of these guys true fair shake.
I think Pickett was there for a couple years.
Steelers are in trouble. They're in trouble. Who was draft day surprises? All right. So there's some Chargers news.
What do we got?
Two things. I'm interested about. You see George Kittle contract? You see George Kittle?
No, what did he
The
do?
news on Kittle?
Is he on the Chargers now?
No.
You wish.
No. No, he's not. But, I mean, George Kittle was... he was a guy going into the season that I kind of had earmarked as like a cut candidate, possibly. The Niners did not have a good cap situation. And going into this offseason, and they've got to re-sign Brock Purdy, which still hasn't happened.
Right.
Voluntaries have started.
Yeah.
And Purdy showed up, but guess who didn't?
Kittle.
Kittle did not show up to voluntaries. By the way, I would be shocked if there were players that missed the Chargers voluntaries, okay? I haven't heard about it yet because they just started. I mean, nothing's come out. But I think if there's one impression that every player on that team gets, is like, dude, if you want to be on this team, you better show up to voluntaries, okay? Like, everyone's at voluntaries. You want to be shipped out quick, brother? Oh, man.
It's like, the word voluntary is more guidelines than rules.
The voluntaries are not fucking voluntary for the Chargers and Harbaugh, okay?
Nor are they for Vrabel in New England. I think everybody's been there over there.
Yeah, I am pretty certain all Chargers players were in attendance. You hear anything about the Patriots? All Patriots players in attendance for voluntaries?
I mean, I didn't hear anything official. I heard there's a lot of people there, and nobody was like, notably that person's missing. So I think everybody's there.
I think Vrabel, right? Didn't I read that Vrabel article a long time ago? Me and you read that one. And didn't Vrabel, when he became a head coach, like his first day or something, somebody was late, and he packed them. He shipped them.
Maybe. I mean, it's just like brand new head coach, brand new regime. Every coach, every position coach is new, almost.
I mean, it was like a veteran player too.
Yeah.
He just shipped them.
I mean, I just get the sense that everybody's way more excited than they were for Gerard Mayo. I mean, players need a leader. You know, it goes a long way to these players. Two things. A, having a coach that played the game. Like, you've worn the cleats, man. Yeah. you put on a helmet. Well, you did two-a-days for 20 years.
You've been on that NFL field.
Since you were 11.
It wasn't college. You've been on an NFL field, and you did it for years. You know? There's something to that. It's a brotherhood, right?
Absolutely.
It's not even just lasting 1 year in the NFL. Like, Harbaugh was in it for 15 years. Vrabel was in it for 15, I don't know, a like long time too, probably, right? Like, so
McConnell was there for like 5 years.
You know, they do respond to that. But also the coach that they just know, it's like, you better be in that building. He ain't going to ask you to show up.
Right.
You just better be there. Otherwise, you ain't going to be there. They know that coach is going to notice and consider it a personal slight. You know?
Absolutely.
So Kittle didn't show up, didn't come into voluntaries. And I felt like he was kind of a possible cap cut candidate anyway. I guess they'll save $14 million by June 1st is what somebody said that I saw. Which is substantial.
Oh, yeah.
That's some substantial money right there. Kittle's 31. We'll see how realistic he is. I don't think he wants the bag. He just wants a good extension, you know?
Yeah.
He kind of got the bag last time, I'm pretty sure.
He did. Well, because he's been good the whole time. He had his rookie contract, and then he got the bag.
Yeah.
He's, you know...
And he deserved the bag.
Right. I mean, he's a top 2 or 3 tight end in the league.
I'm pretty sure PFF-wise, like he was the top tight end.
He's number 1. They're just not as good.
Top tight end. Because PFF grade accounts for run blocking.
Right.
And blocking performance. And
which
Kittle's
he's very good at.
Kittle's just an animal.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest dude, but he is an animal. So much fun to watch when he blocks. I mean, that guy doesn't have, when he's on the field in a play, he's a dog. He is one of the bona fide dogs in the NFL. I mean, to the point where other players are just like, what's your problem, dude? And if they say that to him, if they freak out on him, like, dude, what's your problem? Like, he's going, ha, 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 ha. Like, you know. But I don't think the Niners are willing to put up with any shit. I think they're cleaning house.
I mean, they definitely are.
I mean, they definitely cleaned house. Even though they're stuck with Ayuk. Watch them cut Ayuk. Which would be crazy. Because they just signed him to that contract.
They did.
That would be crazy.
I mean, it would probably be too much of a hit to cut him because he has that new contract.
Like dead cap?
What the particulars are, yeah. I would see them trading him for like nothing on draft day.
I mean, I think that's what they tried to do, and nobody bit, bro. It was crickets, as far as I could tell. Total crickets on Ayuk. So, I love me some Kittle. 10 to 12 million, 2 to 3 years. Give me some George Kittle. And you know what? And draft Loveland, okay? Give me Kittle and Loveland. You give me that room, Conklin, Loveland, and Kittle. Oh boy, we got some weapons, dude. Dude, we have some pass-catching weapons.
Boy.
Like, that's a good problem to have. when the worst tight end on your starting roster is Will Dissly, who can catch and rumble, and he's a fantastic blocker, who still has hands. Kittle's a nasty blocker with hands. Kittle's both.
Right.
Nasty blocker.
I mean, Dissly wouldn't be on the team. They wouldn't have 4 tight ends then.
They do carry 4 tight ends into game day. They roster 4 tight ends. It's just
Really?
because, yeah, it's because Greg Roman's offensive schemes are so tight end heavy. Every play, half the playbook has 2 tight ends or more. You know? I don't know if I saw the Chargers go 4 wideouts once last year. I really don't. That would be a great statistic to look up. Like,
Yeah.
how many offensive plays did the Chargers run using 4 wide receivers last year? I don't know that it ever happened. I saw 3. I would see 3 out there. More than they wanted to, I promise you that. They didn't want to run 3. Roman really doesn't like to do that.
Yeah.
His whole thing is, I mean, the whole offensive game plan for the Chargers is dominating play action, you know? Make it look like a run, but throw it. You do that with tight ends. Tight ends and a lot of them. More than one. Extra O lineman. So,
Jim Harbaugh, side note, I saw him on TV last night because I was watching The Detroiters, which is a show. It's from like 5 years ago, but it's on Netflix, and I think it's really funny. But he's on there. Like, they run into him at an event.
oh really?
So he's coaching Michigan at
In
the
Michigan.
time. So they're in Detroit,
Yeah.
and he was pretty funny. It was hilarious.
Nice.
They were playing. They were playing bowling, which is bowling with a football, where you throw a football at pins.
Oh really?
And Harbaugh is terrible, which is funny because, you know, since he was a quarterback,
He's a QB, yeah.
and he's getting all angry because he's losing to these schmucks.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. He's really competitive, dude. Like, he's a competitive guy. That's one of the things, like, the players, it's like, okay, he likes to work out with them and stuff, and like they think it's funny, like, but like he tries to compete with them and they're just like, whoa, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, and he's like, let's go, you know, like, they're like, you're gonna hurt yourself, dude. They're like, no, this guy is serious. This guy is serious. He's not playing around, man. What are you doing, coach? He's like out there trying to make you look bad, throwing the sled around and shit.
Yeah.
All right, so the Chargers came out with this thing. They put this thing on Instagram yesterday. It's a video of them moving up to get Ladd. So it's them, Hortiz and Harbaugh, in the draft room, moving up to get Ladd. Like, so Hortiz is like, I think they called the Patriots. He's like, okay, we got the Patriots on the phone. And the first time they called the Patriots, you know, they told him the package they wanted to give him. Like, hey, we'd like to trade up and move up to your spot. And the Patriots were like, all right, you taking, which side of the ball you taking? And Hortiz was like, nah. I'm not going to tell you. But here's my package, you know?
Right.
So they hang up. And then the Patriots call back. Like a minute later. He's like, oh, it's the Patriots, they're back. And they go, okay, they counter offer. This is the deal we want. And Harbaugh's sitting right next to Hortiz. So Hortiz, just a couple things that were interesting about that is you get to see the dynamic between Hortiz and Harbaugh. Harbaugh is part of the decision. I mean, Hortiz is next to him like, what do you want to do? Like, Harbaugh's like, yeah, go. It's not Hortiz pushing it, right?
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, if they're going to leverage something or make a big move, like Hortiz sets up the moves. But at the end of the day, he's going like, Harbaugh, you like it or you don't like it? What you want to do? You know?
Yeah.
So, but they're talking about it before, like, he's like, Ladd and Justin, he's like, they're going to be thicker than thieves, man. Like on a string, those two. Both Hortiz and him are just like, dude, these two, Ladd and Justin are just, they knew it. They knew it. They knew exactly what was going to happen with Ladd McConkey. So that was pretty cool. I mean, the real question here is, because New England obviously took Polk, yeah. Where was Ladd on New England's board? Did they have Polk over Ladd or did they have Ladd over Polk? I mean, clearly hindsight, but in the draft,
I mean, we'll never know. They'll never admit.
Yeah. We'll never know.
That draft board got burned, thrown in the dumpster.
Like we'll never know.
Defecated on.
We'll never know if they had Ladd McConkey higher on the board than Polk 2 picks earlier, and like they were gonna take Ladd, and then they gave up the picks, and the Chargers snaked Ladd. They're like, they had to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what? You know? Like, damn it! Because they thought the Chargers might take somebody else, right? Like they didn't think the Chargers were gonna go move up to get a wideout. Had Hortiz said he was going to take someone on the offensive side of the ball, that pick may have never happened, you know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of Hortiz taking Elliott Wolf to school.
I mean, we'll never know.
Or, I don't know.
I mean, all we know is that the Patriots, there's a very good chance. I mean, they were clearly looking for a wideout at that pick because that's what they took 2 picks later. You know?
Right.
We'll just never know if Ladd was the guy they had their eyes on.
I think it was that they probably liked Ladd, but they also probably liked Polk and a couple other guys right there in that tier. And they were probably like, if we go down 2 spots, we'll get somebody still.
It was probably, they had similar grades, so they were like, hey, we end up with one of them, it's all good. I mean, in hindsight, they're going like, damn it.
Right.
Because Ladd was clearly the value. I saw this thing. It was like the top 10 picks of the draft last year. Who were the 10 best picks out of the first round last year?
Yeah.
And yeah, the Chargers had 2 players on that. Ladd and Alt both made that. They were the only team with 2 picks to make it.
Well, Ladd wasn't a first-round pick. He was top of the
Or it
second.
must have been the top 10 picks of the draft, you know?
Oh, like value overall.
I think overall the best 10 picks out of that draft.
Yeah.
Which is going to take into account value, you know? Where they were taken. What you got out of it. So anyway, I thought that was awesome. They shared that kind of little draft room insight.
Yeah.
All right. Daniel Jeremiah's Bigboard. He's got Travis Hunter at number 1.
Which everybody either has him or Carter as their number 1 overall. Like,
Travis Hunter at number 1. Boy, the hype on Travis Hunter, it has continued to grow. I thought it was high before. But it continues to be.
The hype as his skill as a player or his level of diva-ness?
I know.
Both.
He did pull some diva. He is starting to pull some diva.
He is, so, that can only go.
He's like, I'm going to play both ways or otherwise I'm not playing.
Or I'm going to quit.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. You're dictating terms to the NFL now, huh? And you haven't played a game? The argument continues to, how best to use them.
Right.
And a lot of the NFL teams have the opinion I have, which is you slot him in a cornerback as an outside cornerback, lockdown cornerback, and then you use him as like a Z style receiver, as the third receiver. So you can limit. He's not playing every down the whole game.
But you have a small package of plays with him.
You want that guy. You don't want to burn out his snaps, because snaps become a problem. Tell you what, though, he is pretty lightweight. And then he's only 188 pounds. The other thing too is a lot of executives were. I don't know if you read that Athletic article on him, but when he did his pro day, and he was doing his whiteout drills, he was doing all this stuff, and a lot of the NFL guys were like, "Yeah, you ain't got time for that shit in the NFL, okay? Like that may look good on YouTube, but like you're not using that in a game."
Like juke moves?
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of moves, and it's like
take too long to develop.
They're like, he got way too cute. He was
getting get blown up doing that in the NFL.
They're like, you don't have, so they don't consider what he showed at his pro day, his receiving. Whatever he was doing, they were just like, yeah, it looks good for YouTube. Like,
that's not good.
They weren't impressed with it, They were like, there was nothing. They feel he still needs work to become an NFL top shelf NFL wideout. Like, he didn't show anything. They didn't walk away from that going, oh, he's ready to just hop in there as a top shelf wideout.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, he is ready to hop in there as a top shelf corner.
Yes. And then it's, the other thing too is they were interviewing secondary coaches, and secondary coaches were going like, look, being a cornerback in college, like, there's still a learning curve in the NFL. Like, you may have the goods, but like there's so much to learn.
Yeah. Learning
two positions, both positions, there's so much to learn. Like, do you know how big that playbook is? It's not a physical thing. It's a brain thing.
Yeah.
How much information can you assimilate?
I mean, it just seems like he's got to go into camp as a corner, even the first month of the season as a corner, and then start trickling in some offense.
Exactly.
But he's really putting himself in a box by being defiant about it. But, to be fair, he can afford to be, because he knows he's a top 3 pick, regardless.
Yeah, they're just letting him blow his steam off.
Yeah.
There's not a club out there that's going to go, oh, here you go, starting position, both freaking sides of the ball. Like,
at the end of the day, if he doesn't go to Cleveland because they just feel like they want Abdul Carter instead, he's going to the Giants. There's not.
Rich Eisen was making a really good point that his rookie contract, if he works out and becomes a top cornerback and a top wideout in the league, like, how do you even pay this guy?
Right. Well, then he's like quarterback level value.
Yeah, right? Like, do you pay him for 2 positions?
2 of the highest,
2 of the highest paid
after
positions?
QB, that's 2 and 3 as
2 of the highest paid positions.
Other than maybe edge rusher.
Like, what does that look like? Abdul Carter's
2 and 4 if pass rusher is 3.
They got Abdul Carter as number 2. Genty's number 3 overall.
Yeah.
which is kind of wild.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It would be crazy for him to fall out of the top 10, even as a running back.
He's got Mason Graham number 4 overall.
Yeah. He's supposed to be a game wrecker.
Yeah, he's got that Aaron Donald to him, but I feel like without the physical. Because, I mean, that was the thing. Donald was a physical freak coming out of college too. Everybody knew it. Like, this guy's a freakazoid. But they felt he didn't have the size. And then they all learned, like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, the power that this guy has goes beyond size, okay? But Mason Graham's game is very similar to Aaron Donald. You know, the way he plays. So he's kind of Aaron Donald without the physique. At least when I saw his tape.
Yeah.
He's got great tape. Did you watch any tape on him?
A little bit. And that's the thing. If he ends up being the next Aaron Donald, it's like, well, then he's better than Abdul Carter. But you don't know until you know.
Well, I think the consideration when it comes to him is like, okay, you're Aaron Donald without the physique. Is that going to translate to the NFL? Because Aaron Donald had the physique to play the way he played.
Right.
And everybody was like, well, shit, okay. Like, nobody can stop that guy. But Mason Graham, Aaron Donald without the power, oh, he gets stopped. So they've got Jalen Walker, the edge, number 5 overall. I have not watched film on him. He's out of Georgia. Did you watch any Jalen Walker?
No, but I know there's people in Patriots Nation
That like him?
who
Oh,
want,
yeah.
who want him.
He's definitely on the radar.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be on the Patriots fans' radar. Like, get that guy.
Because, you know, they also need an edge rusher. Their pass rush last year was among the worst in the league.
Yeah, he seems to be the guy. Tyler Warren, number 6 overall. The new Gronkowski. The new Gronk. The difference with this guy, too, with Tyler Warren is, like, they lined him up all over the field. Half back. You know what he is, actually? They say he's the new Gronkowski because of the way he runs in the backfield, you know? Just trucking people.
Yeah.
But he's kind of more the new Aaron Hernandez in a way. Because Aaron Hernandez was that guy.
But you can't say that.
Just all over the field. You know what I mean, talent-wise?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez was just a baller. Like, halfback, wildcat. Like, you could use him just anywhere.
Well, because
he's making plays.
He was a freak in that he was big.
Just a baller.
But he was as fast as receivers,
Yeah.
bigger than them. Like,
Yeah.
he was everything you wanted a tight end to be.
Everything.
Like,
Just a head case.
crazy good hands,
Just absolute head case.
head case, murderer.
But as a player. So
Right.
Warren is kind of that, actually.
Just without the murder.
Where Gronk, I don't know that Gronk was ever that. At least not coming out of college.
No.
You know what I mean? So Warren is actually kind of more that Hernandez mold in that way. And then he trucks like Gronk when he gets the ball in his hands. Then he's got Colston Loveland, 7 overall. Right after Warren. Which I'm kind of upset with Daniel Jeremiah about.
I mean, I don't know whose board it was, but I saw Loveland at like 10 or 11. But, you know, both of those have them way higher than dropping to 22 for the Chargers.
I mean, that's why my argument stands. It's like, if Loveland's there at 22, like, you're taking Loveland, okay?
Right.
There's no way you're passing on Loveland. There's not going to be another player that's higher graded on the board. There's not.
Yeah.
Period. On your big board.
I mean, one of the best picks the Patriots have had in the last like 8 years was Gonzalez, the corner who they traded down. He was a top 10 talent. Everybody thought he was going in the top 10, and he fell to 16.
Oh, was he a BPA pick? Best player available?
I mean, they needed a corner as well, but it was definitely he was supposed to go in the top 10, and somehow he did not. I don't know why. And now he's he's an all-pro level corner.
That guy's size still trips me out. Then they finally have Cam Ward, the quarterback, at 8. Number 9, he's got Membo. Membo over Campbell. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen Ward not be in the top 10
Yeah.
on people's big boards.
Then he's got Jahdae Barron, number 10 overall, the first cornerback. Jahdae Barron, Swiss Army knife. He can go slot, outside, box, dime backer, does it all. Then he's got Will Campbell, 11, so not far. First linebacker is Jahad Campbell at 12. Omarion Hampton at 13. That's two running backs in the top 15. Substantial. Omarion Hampton's a beast too, man.
He is. But that would be crazy in this day and age to have 2 running backs go in the top 20. Although it happened with Didn't the Lions take what's his name in the Bijan
Gibbs.
in the Bijan draft?
They went up and got Gibbs high.
Was that in the Bijan Robinson draft? I think it might have been.
I don't know if that was the same draft as Bijan. That's a good question. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. Matthew Golden, 14.
He has him above Chet McMillan.
Yeah. Interesting. He's citing the balance of Golden. He's like, he's got average size, but he plays with tremendous polish, instincts, and toughness. Jeremiah felt he could beat different kinds of coverages really well. Jeremiah felt his composure on the field looked pretty elite. As far as when he's on the field playing, you know, like this guy knows what he's doing, and he's good at it. Number 15, he's got Nick Humanwari. I think that's his top safety. I'm pretty sure I didn't see a safety before him.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a guy on the Chargers' radar. Like, if he falls to 20, 22, woof. Loveland's gone. Basically have two Derwins. Dude.
Double Derwin.
I don't know if we talked about that before, but watch him end up on the Eagles. Ugh. Watch him end up on the Eagles. Watch him fall to the bottom of the first round and the Eagles grab him. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke if that happens.
I mean, that's what you get when you're a Super Bowl champion. You already have a good team. You just have, you usually don't have a glaring need. You get to just sit there and see who should have gone in the top 15 who fell to 32, you know?
Yeah.
And you just take them. It doesn't matter what position they play.
But boy, I love him and Worry, like, man. Dude. Just because I love Derwin, and that guy wants to be Derwin. Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. Next cornerback. Tyler Booker is his top-rated interior offensive lineman. Igbuka, the whiteout from Ohio. Daniel Popper released his latest mock draft. For the Chargers. And he had the Chargers taking Igbuka.
I mean, who did the Chargers take in the first round last year?
We took Joe Alt, number 5.
And then it was.
And then we took Ladd.
And then it was Ladd in the second round. I don't know that they go receiver so high 2 years in a row though. When they clearly hit on Ladd. It's not like the Patriots who took one in the second round and
yeah, I agree.
The jury's still out.
I agree, and I think there's going to be too many highly graded defensive linemen, like an interior defensive lineman, you know?
Yeah, which they need.
Which they do need. That is somewhere they do not have a blue chip player. Like Khalil Mack is a blue chip player. You know, Derwin James is a blue chip player. He plays in the secondary.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
We've got great linebacker play.
I would kind of like, if I were a Charger fan, I would probably want them to take the best D tackle there.
Yeah. No, it's a strong case. If we don't get Loveland, I mean, my advocation is if Loveland's not there, we can move back 5 spots possibly, still get that interior defensive lineman, and then maybe an extra third and something maybe.
Yeah.
Doubt we'll get an extra second, but a third, and in this draft, an extra third will be huge.
All right, well, if the Patriots don't take offensive tackle at 4, then they can talk to the Chargers about going up 10 spots.
Yeah.
About going up 15 spots from the second round into the Chargers' first round, taking a tackle there.
Right? Yeah. They might have to do that. You're not wrong about that scenario.
Because that would be the spot that they would need to be in to get that second tier of tackles.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're a team that needs to double down, that's going to be the spot. Somebody's falling.
Either somebody fell out of the top 10.
Somebody's falling.
Maybe the Chargers don't want. They'll be like, yeah, you want them, you can have them.
Membo.
Or one of the
Campbell.
Tackles. Which everybody always.
If you're the Patriots, you go, okay, yeah, we'll get you whatever you want. Like, let's go get that other guy too.
Well, neither one of those guys are going to fall to 20s, but I'm talking that next tier of Connerly of tackles that would still be there at the end of the first round.
He's got Tet McMillan all the way down at 19 overall. Shadur at 20. Mike Green at 21 is the second best edge.
Got anything else, or we could probably wrap it up?
Yeah. Raquel Williams, edge. Shemar Stewart, edge. Harmon. He's got Harmon. I think Harmon is his second best interior D lineman. That's interesting. Not Kenneth Grant. Not Walter Nolan. Wow. All right. Well, yeah, that's all we got, guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in next time. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. See you later.
Friday after the draft.
Have a great draft. Yeah.